Hi, welcome back in UBTV. In what is it?
In English time.
Yeah.
And still with me, Galo.
And Novan.
Yeah.
What episode is?
It's the 12th episode.
Okay.
Like, why you always like stare at me and give me some clue or a signal to me? Okay, so what are we going to talk about today?
Okay, today we are going to talk about ICT media, especially in cross-cultural understanding.
Is it a vlog or story or music?
Or is it what is it? One vlog and two interview.
Okay, so could you please explain more about those two, about interview
And
video
one
about
vlog.
CCU, cross-cultural understanding?
Okay, for the vlog is about what is it? Cultural, the different culture in Australia and Indonesia.
So it's between Australian student and Indonesian student.
Of
That's
course,
interesting,
yeah.
okay? So who are they? I mean, who are the speaker or maybe...
The speaker. Okay, for the speaker is Kadis and Jeffy.
Oh, it's Gadis and Jeffrey.
Jeffy.
Who?
Jeffy.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, not Jeffrey. Jeffy.
Okay, Jeffrey is Indonesian name. Okay,
Yeah.
so without any further, let's check how Gadis and Jeffy talks about cross-cultural understanding between Australia and Indonesia.
Hi guys, welcome to my very first vlog ever. My name is Gadis and I'm with my best friend.
Hi, my name is Jeffy.
Yay! And today we are going to talk about cross-cultural understanding in university in Australia and also in Indonesia. So, Jeffy, what do you study?
I'm studying linguistics
Mm.
in Brawijaya University, and I just finished my second semester about
Couple of
a
weeks
couple
ago.
of weeks ago, really. Yeah.
That's really cool. And I also studied applied linguistics in Monash University. And I also just finished my second semester. I'm about to have my third semester. And actually our class start next week.
Really.
Yeah.
So when you come back to Australia
And Wednesday.
on Wednesday
Yeah.
this week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Bye,
fast.
Jeff.
See you again.
Okay. First of all, what should we discuss?
I want to talk about cross-cultural understanding in Australia, and I have a couple things on my phone. So yeah, so let's do the first
Yeah.
about cultural understanding in Australia.
Yeah. And what is that?
And in what aspect is like in your study in Australia, especially in your university, what do you feel about so you are one of the Monash University students there, so I'm really curious about cross-cultural there, especially in how students wear on campus.
Well, I think actually we can wear anything we want. You can use flip-flop, you can use t-shirt, you can use jeans, ripped jeans, whatever, as long as it's appropriate for school. And even my lecturers only use t-shirt, and it's okay with that.
Wow.
And she's using jeans and also sports shoes. And my other lecturers use cardigan to teach us. And so nobody really cares what you wear, unless it's appropriate and it's nice for school. How about you, Jeff?
It's a little bit formal on my university because every lecture, I think,
Really care about how you look.
yeah, about what we dress, the dresses, and how formal you in university, and it's easier to think that are you really educated persons if you're not dressed formal in a academic environment.
Yep. So I'm studying linguistic, but my friend in education, so they have presentation in classroom, and he asked his lecturer, "What should I wear for presentation?" And his lecturer said, "You can wear anything you want, and it's okay. We don't really care about it. We just care about your presentation, not how you look." And it's in education, so yeah, it's totally
Yeah,
different
it's
from
quite a
Indonesia.
lot gap between here and there in Australian. Wow, I just know that, and it could be my new side of
Yeah.
about the way we should dress in a formal way.
Okay, that's about clothes. How about correspondence with lecturer? How do you communicate with your lecturer?
I usually use my WhatsApp to communicate with them.
And it's okay?
Yeah, it's fine, and I have I have a good response from some lecturers, and some of them needs to wait a long time, but it's fine because
Like
they
how
have-
long?
Yeah,
Couple of days,
they're
couple
very
of
busy.
hours?
Yeah, it might be a couple of days, and probably they need to prepare the answer and yeah, just find free times.
Interesting. In my university, we can communicate to our lecturers using only email, and they only use their university email, and I only use my student email. So, for example, my email is like gba003 at studentmonas.edu, something like that. And so, no personal contact information given, both of students and lecturer. But so, like, it is very hard for me at the first time because I'm not used to writing email. So I have to study from Google, like how to write opening, how to write um, email to lecturer, and how to close the email, something like that.
Hi, I'm Irene and I'm here with my friend Roma. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's from Ukraine.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think I would like to ask you, Roma, some questions about what is it? Some education aspect in your country, and maybe you can compare it with Indonesia just to give information to the audience. I mean, what is it like to study in the Ukraine, and what is it like to be Ukrainian to study in Indonesia?
Okay,
so
you're welcome. I'll try
how
to.
do you feel about studying in this country?
At first, maybe I should start about what I'm studying here. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, I'm exchange student here for 1 year. I have got scholarship from Indonesian government.
Okay.
It's called Dharma Siswa. So, according to this, my like regulation of my program,
Yeah.
I should study Indonesian language and also Indonesian culture.
Do you find it hard to study Bahasa Indonesia?
At the first time, I was really confused about, especially have to accept the new language. I mean, especially pronunciation is quite different from my language. But at the same time, I cannot say that Bahasa Indonesia, yeah, the Indonesian language is so difficult because it's using your language is using like we can use Latin alphabet, yeah. And so it's like quite similar for me because I have studied also English in my country. English also is using Latin alphabet. So for example, for reading and to like to get skills of speaking and reading, it was not so difficult. But the problem I really felt that pronunciation, listening to people to adapt to the environment, this a little bit was
Because we also like have many accents here, like local accent.
yes,
Yeah.
especially, and some sounds. It was hard for me to start to spell it correct in right sphere.
Okay.
So it was like a little bit hard. In general, not really, because later I also engaged in some language competition of Indonesian language, and like I just checked my possibilities, how quickly may I like adapt it to new language and to use it in practically.
Okay. Did you have any like culture shock when you first came in here, especially maybe in the campus life or in the classroom? Do you have any or no?
I think every people who would like to visit new country, especially totally different from your native culture, yep, and and this country is so far from your country. I think every people should feel some culture shock, and also I'm not exception. Of course, I felt a lot of culture shock. Maybe my first culture shock was because I came to Jakarta first,
Yeah.
and I stayed there for 3 days. It was opening ceremony for all Dharma Siswa students,
Yeah.
and it was the first shock. It was too hot. I have never felt such such conditions. Really, that's really too hot. And my first opinion was, wow, to what country I have came. So, and I think next culture shock, it was a really different traffic jam.
Traffic jam. Yeah.
Different from my country, because I connected this with huge population. A lot of people are living in Indonesia. It's actually Indonesia. It's statistically, according to statistics, it's
Yeah.
a huge Islamic country
Yes.
in the world. So, and population 200 and more million. So the traffic jam was also for me. It was incredibly awful. I was really
Did it
confused.
stress you out?
The problem is I even cannot cross the road without any like
Right.
consultation from my friends. So
You don't get used to crossing those like crowded roads, yeah?
yes,
Were you scared?
yes, a little bit, because I cannot I don't have any idea how to do it, because I cannot see any regulation in the road.
Yes.
It's like what I realized in the first moment. It was regulation from people, not from in general regulations.
All right. That's interesting. Okay. What do you find? I mean, what is the big difference that you find between studying in your country and Indonesia?
I want to underline that my studying program, is not wasn't so for 4 or 5 years like a bachelor
Yeah.
or master program. So I'm not really professional to compare
Right.
level of education in Ukraine and Indonesia. But according to my knowledge that according to my time that I have been here, also includes communication with teachers from Indonesia, from my university, UB. I can say my university because I have stayed there already like 1 year. So according to this, I think the level of Indonesian education is now it's like not bad, and
Not bad.
moreover it's good, because what I have really realized, government and some private sectors, they are really wanted to support education.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if you are taking into consideration UB, like example, government are spending good money for university. This university has good facilities, a lot of buildings, possibilities, and then really realize it. For example, if you are talking about students' career, students' way of hers and his development, a lot of program for studying language, additional language, a lot of program for developing some personal skills, and it's really I evaluated this, because In Ukraine, I can say that still we are suffering from a lack of financial budget
I see.
in universities, in majority of universities. Of course, some of them has a good facilities because they were established in the like already a long time ago, and like they have some maybe like strategy how to develop them. They are using some money from also private sector and so forth. But majority still they are suffering from, especially every year I hear from my colleagues, from my Minister of Education, not actually Minister of Education, but from like real teachers, lecturers from universities that we are suffering from lack budget. We need more. We need like more in order to improve our education, in order to improve our possibilities and facilities.
Okay.
And also, if you're talking about supporting students, like government supporting students, in which way, in what way government really helps students to engage in students' activity, engage in student education. I have seen that a lot of students have different financial support.
So what do we have? Like, I mean, like what kind of things that we already had?
We have two videos about an interview from native students.
So what kind of interview is
The
it?
interview is about the education, the different from Indonesian and his or her country.
Oh, differences between Indonesia and Australia,
Oh.
or maybe some other country.
Other countries, overseas.
Okay. So yeah, anything else maybe that the speaker have already like explained?
She explained about what is it, the curriculum, about daily life, and other one.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, Selamat Sore. My name is Sayyid Zamir and I am basically from India. I am in Indonesia from last 10 months. I am on a cultural program for 1 year and this program is called Dharma Siswa. So, and I am pursuing Masters in Anthropology in New Delhi, India. Yeah. Like for me, studying in Indonesia was a very big challenge because it was the first time for me to go outside my country for studying purposes. And that time I didn't know like how it is in Indonesia and like they have different culture from us. But when I came to Indonesia and I started studying here, so I find some differences, some similarities also. But if I will compare the university I am studying in right now and with the university I am studying in India, there are many differences in many terms. Like first of all, I would like to start it with from the classes. The classes in here are like the professors, they give many like assignments or projects to students, but in here they have to make PowerPoint presentations every time. So students, they spend most of their time on laptops, on internet, so that they can make the PowerPoint presentations about their research or anything. But in India, it's like you have to attend almost all the classes, and your professor, he will deliver lectures, and after that, like you have to consult, you have to read many books from different authors. And like most of the professors in our university there, they themselves are authors. Like we study some books and the authors are the professors themselves, so who teach us there. So we have to read their books, we have to consult some other authors. So the students in my university in India, like we spend most of our time in library. So in our libraries we have cyber digital library also, so that we can like we can search for our research material through internet. And then we have books from different authors from different countries, and then we have to read almost all the books regarding and related to our research, related to our assignments. And then we have to write the assignments. Like if we have one subject, every subject has 3 or 4 sub-subjects. So we have to write assignments related to all subjects, and one assignment has a word limit, like 10,000 words, 5,000 words, like that. So it's a very hard thing for a student. Like some students there, they spend their time in the library, even they sleep there, because they have to write. And because of this, like students there, they have to manage time, like they have to eat, they have to sleep, and then they have to like complete their assignment. So we do not have restrictions like there is no uniform code, like there is no dress code. You do not need to wear uniform. Like if you will come to our university, you will find many students there just wearing normal clothes in which they maybe were sleeping all night and they go to the classes like that. So they will be wearing caps, they will be wearing shorts, sandals. So this is not important. The dress code there is not important because they do not have time for that. They can, anything is like, everything is possible. It's like students there, they can live like what they want to do, they can do. If they want long hair, short hair, without hair, so everything is possible there. So you don't need like there are no restrictions about this thing. So in some government universities there, but some private universities, they have dress code, so they cannot but here is not the problem, but they have to wear uniforms and good clothes. But in government universities, because the students there, they have to like write, they have to read, they do not have time for these things. So the life in those universities is very simple, very simple. Like you will find students sitting in the garden, staying under the tree, reading book, writing anything, using their laptops. So these things are common there. And like in that university, like we have hostels, like hostels. So they spend their time in hostels. Also they live in the hostels, and university provide them food and everything. So they don't need to cook also. So everything is like easy for them. So there is no restrictions because of this. So because they don't want make their life, students' life, so difficult, so that they will be busy with other things and they cannot focus on research. So and apart from this academics, like students there are involved in political activities. So almost not every student, but most of the students, like 70% students of every government universities in India, they are politically active. So they have to do that also. And some are related to some political parties, and some have research regarding political things, political issues. So it makes their like life easier. It makes their research also easier. So like in Indonesia, you will see every student in every university like physical appearance, like they are very looking, so they are wearing good clothes and everything is in a very like good manner. It is in India also, but I am talking about the particular university. Like in my university, so we do not follow these things. We do not have these things there. So like if you are entering in some shop, you want to buy tea or coffee, you will have your cup of coffee, you can sit on the floor and you can drink the coffee. You do not need a good structure cafe like that, no, because we do not think about these things, because these things doesn't matter for us. For us, what matters is like our work, our research, and to be politically active, to be socially active. So just like that.
What do you think about the vlog?
The vlog?
Yeah.
Why are you always asking me first? Okay, the vlog is, yeah, actually, it's very educative for
Educative.
us.
Oh, okay.
As especially as Indonesian student, because yeah, I've never knew how Australian students live, like even for the how students and also lecturer having an interaction. That's very attractive, I guess,
and-
interesting, and also
Educated.
it's educative.
Educative.
Not
Okay.
educated. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and please stay tuned because we still have one episode left.
Okay.
So please stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and see you.